Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Alia. Today I'm so excited to share this junk journal I just finished making. I'm excited because of two reasons. One, I used a lot of the lace that I just got from that eBay site and from that Etsy store. Plus, I found that I completely forgot. I don't know if you can see it on the front. I found this crocheted doily that I think one of my mother's friends was cleaning out her house. I think she was moving into retirement homes, but she had to clean out her house. And we went over to help her do that, but to see if there's anything like craft related that possibly I could use. And I remember, this was a while ago, maybe a year or so ago, I remember taking a bunch of things to use, but I don't remember this. And I think it was in a box of maybe rickrack or something. I don't remember, but I came across this and I was excited to use it. Plus, I've always wanted to do some kind of lace layering on the front cover. So before I talk about that, we have to talk about this paper. This was that 12 by 12 paper stack that I got from Michael's on Friday. Let me just grab it over here. It was the Hot Buy pad, and it was Woodworks by Recollections. And this was the pad that everything inside was all sort of wood related. But this paper here, it's textured, so it almost feels like the wood, the tree. So what I did was I wanted it the same size as all my other junk journals, so it measures 9 by 6. So because normally I use the 9 by 12 clasp envelopes folded in half, but this one I did not use an envelope. I just used 2 sheets of the 12 by 12, glued them together. So this is the outside, and then I'll show you the inside once we get in there. But on the front cover, what I did was there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, or maybe 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different laces layered under the doily. So I just cut them in strips and laid them across, and then added the doily down. And then this little piece here, one of the 12 by 12 sheets had all these tiny little squares and that you could cut out. Each of them had a different picture on it. But this is like, see, so they're all the same shape. They're just different pictures on it. So I cut this one out because I wanted this for the front cover. I glued it onto chipboard just so it wasn't a flimsy piece of paper, so now it's hard. And then under that I layered some more lace here, and then one of the little vintage buttons that I got. So that's the front. I closed the album with seam binding, as you can see, and you see all this lace I used. Oh, it's so lacy, so lovely. So let's take a peek inside. So here's the inside of the front cover. Was this page that I used. Oh, and I also collage paged the outside just to give it a little bit more sturdiness. Plus, and I did the same to the inside too. So on the first page, I love this little heart in the wood grain. So I left it blank. I just added some lace on the side, but I like this image. So you could journal underneath here, you could add a picture, but I did leave that blank so the heart could show. And on the back of the first page, I made a little layered tuck spot. So I have some pattern paper. This is pattern paper that I kind of ripped up there. This is one of those cutouts, and then I put some Dollar Tree trim on the bottom, and then I have 2 tags. So this was one of the tags from the paper collection. I just cut that out, and this one I made with some leftover paper, and I sewed coffee dyed paper on the back. So that tucks right in here. It's a plain page, and so here is my first tag, and I did show this on a previous video, These tags I made were inspired by Moira McDonald here on YouTube, and she did a tutorial, like a step-by-step tutorial. She was actually creating a tag during the tutorial, so you see how she, cut the little, or she ripped pages, she cut lace and everything. So I was watching a lot of her tag tutorials this morning. Well, she has one, but she kind of has two, but I was kind of switching back and forth for both of them, and so I created this one. And I don't know if you can see on the edge, this is one of those little square cutouts, but I took my scissors and I just ran it along the edge to kind of rip it but not rip it, and then I distressed it with the Tim Holtz Distress ink. And just a whole bunch of lace layered. Here's some eyelash trim, 2 of the buttons, and some burlap. So that was one of the tags that I made, which I'm really, really pleased with the way it came out. Okay, so we have some more coffee dyed paper. Here's, of course, one of the paper ribbons with the scraps. This sheet here, I put lace on the side, one of the cutouts on the bottom, and this flips open for journaling or pictures. And some more of that lovely, lovely lace here. Blank on the back. And here I made a little sewn pocket. And it has the 2 parts because I only glued down this side and this side. So here's the first little pocket, and these are just 2 of the little squares I cut out and I rounded the corners. And then they just tuck right in this little pocket, and then behind it, these are 2 of the cutouts from the collection as well. And here is one of those small music note sheet papers my son got me when he was in Germany over the summer. And then on the back, I used one of the cutouts. I put a little lace under it and created a tuck spot for this little tag that I made. And here's another flip. This one, I put down some of the lace and then I put a paper ribbon over it, and that flips out as well. And Hear the Call of the Wild. And this time I also do something different too. Normally I don't dye the scrapbook paper. This time I did. Well, I didn't completely dye it. I have this little spray bottle here that has coffee, and I mixed it with a little bit of brown paint because the coffee was getting kind of light, and I just sprayed the back sides and then just dried them with my heat gun. And some more little lace on the side. And here I have, these are some of those bags that I bought on Friday. 2 tags. This one is a leftover, when I cut down to make the tags, some leftover sheet, I just cut that down into tag size. Nothing's on the back of that. And then this I sewed onto some coffee dyed paper, and this is one of the cut-aparts from the collection. Cut-aparts from the collection. Oh gosh, I can't talk. And it's just blank on the back, but you can see the sewing. And then that tucks back into this little pocket here. And another paper ribbon there. Here's some wooden music note paper from the collection. And this lace is really nice. Let's see if you can see it. I don't know if it'll show up on camera. But that is some of the lace that I got. And here's another tag that I did. And I did the same thing. It's one of those little cut-aparts. I sort of distress the edges with my scissors and then put the distress ink over it. And this one, on the side, it has some ribbon, and I really am fond of this ribbon right here. And a little paper ribbon on the bottom. And here's the middle of the signature, and it says, "The adventure begins." And I lined this side too. Blank on the back, coffee dyed paper, another lace ribbon with the paper ribbon, flips open. And here's another sewn pocket that I made. The little front pocket here has 2 cut-aparts in there. And then these are also cut aparts. Well, this isn't a cut apart from the collection, and this is a tag that I made. And on the back, I stitched some just regular lined paper, so you can to like a to-do list or things you want to get done, or anything you want, or you can just journal on it. But it's on the back of that, and you can even add some pictures on the front if you wanted to. So those get tucked right back inside. And I did add lace to the side of this page as well. And here's another one of those little collage tuck spots. Has different pattern papers ripped up and glued together, as well as 2 strips of lace and a little, I think it's metal button. And these are both from the paper collection, the cutouts. Put that away. Some more coffee dyed paper. Here's the other side of the little bag. And on this one, I kept 2 of these together because it sort of went like go wild, and then there's a little wolf, and then I rounded the corners. And then this is some of that lined paper that I did by hand, and I just folded it up for a nice journaling spot or a list, somewhere you can put a list on or whatever you want to do. And those tuck right back inside. And here is lace on this side too. And this one is another paper ribbon, and through this holes I tied some string just so it's not so plain, and then glued it down. And a little collage here that these were some leftover pieces of ribbon when I was cutting, and they kind of all fell to the side of my desk in a little pile. So I said, you know what, let me just layer them up, glue them down, and put buttons over them. So that's what I did. This is a little lacy collage. Kind of looks like 2 eyes looking at you. And the back is the music notepad. Another paper ribbon. And here's another lace down on the bottom with a yellow button. And this is another tag I made. This one isn't extremely layered, so I cut out the tag shape in cardstock, and then on the front I sewed on some coffee dyed paper, and then here I made a little tuck spot. This is pattern paper that I ripped up. This is one of those squares, and then I also added some ribbon at the bottom with some paper flowers and a wood, because I thought it was appropriate, a wood button. Left the top open so you could stick a little tag or something in there. It's blank on the back, like that. And then I stapled on some of this trim on the top. And oops, where did the page go? Okay. And that is the end. So I really like the way this came out. I love all the lace that I was able to use in this one, as well as the front cover. I am extremely in love with the front cover. So I hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Bye.